Katherine Carroll wears many hats. And Katherine actually has the honor of being on the Governor's Council for working with people with disabilities. Katherine is a great traveler, and hopefully she's going to take us somewhere. Katherine.
You bring out the Tobago in me. Tucked in the shadow of South America lies an island with a small curved beach where colorful glass-bottom boats bob like toys on an aqua sea. There, under the hot, steamy sun, I met Samuel, a young West Indian man whose hair twisted in wild, thick ropes and was bleached to a soft shade of ginger. He knelt down beside my beach chair as I nestled in under a bright red umbrella. His eyes smoldered. His brown skin glistened as he reached for my hand, saying it would be mystical. Startled, my cheeks flushed and grew warm. I erupted into a full-body laughter. As if by reflex, I replied, "Oh, Mon, you are much too young for me." Somehow, in rebuffing him, I found the Tobago in me and slipped into the native tongue. Samuel eased into my life one lazy day at a time. By the third day of my visit, he was my island guide. Together, we rented a little Jeep, perfect for traveling meandering narrow roads, driving on what to me looked like the wrong side of the street. Like a song, his words lingered and rested easy on my mind. Each syllable spoke to me as it caressed, like drops of heaven cascading down a waterfall, as we hiked on wet, dark trails in the middle of the rainforest. As we lunched at Gemma's Treehouse restaurant, his smooth, husky voice became a melody of words. They enchanted me as we drank sweet water straight from fresh-cut coconuts at the roadside stand. The island roads twisted and turned as we drove. The minutes fell into hours as we watched the sun dive into the dark waters of the night as the sea rolled in. I could smell the sweetness of barbecue floating on the sound of steel drums. As we walked the beach, he reached for me, and I walked away. Then I walked right into his heart. As his heart opened, so did mine. Armor, once invisible and charged with defending my tenderness, began to slowly fall away. I could hear the quiet thud as the pieces landed in the cool sand stretching out under Orion's belt, sitting low in the southern sky. Was it the carob beer that I had grown so fond of? Was it the sultry crab and dumplings, the fresh, mellow callaloo soup? Perhaps it was the spicy roti. Or was it the sound of the steel drums rolling over the ocean's waves that brought out the West Indian in me? A young island man had made me feel more like a woman than I knew possible. My mind held on to the visions of dancing in the quiet island lanes under the swaying palm trees, past grassy fields where goats were tethered and chickens ran free. Just with him, I felt the glide of the red kayak we paddled as we hopped from island bar to island bar, just with him. He wrapped me up in his brown skin as we parted. I was sure our paths would never cross again. The key turned in the lock of my downtown Denver condo. I opened the door, dropped my bags to greet the cat. As she purred, the phone rang. It was him. "Come back to me. Come back to my paradise. Come back to my arms," he pleaded. You bring out the Tobago in me.
Sort of nice to take some trips when we hear people reading here.